Okay, let's get my screen sharing here. Well, it's great to be with you all today. What wonderful content what I've seen so far and dipped into, and just some fantastic tips and tricks and just really amazing information for you to take out of this and to really help to take the next steps in your video games career path. So I'm going to talk to you today, about how you can bolster your career path into video games development. And principally through a project that I run called Transfuser. So for those of you who haven't heard of it before, it's part of the UK Games Talent and Finance Group, and we help to provide a shot of graduate talent into the UK video games industry. So we're really keen to connect with undergrads and graduates who want to further develop their skills and who maybe want to participate in some of our pathways for this year. So I assume if a number of you are attending the conference, and you'll no doubt have a number of questions around about how do you actually get a career in the video game development. So you may be sitting thinking, oh, how do I set myself apart? What can I do to improve my skill offering? How can I land that dream job? And is it even possible to set up my own video game studio that becomes financially sustainable? And so we found that with graduates who have externally validated team-based projects in their portfolio, they're generally more successful and able to land their dream job or to start out in their own enterprise. So I'm going to talk to you about this program, Transfuser, and how you can spend your summer working as a team, creating your own game IP, figuring out what it takes to plan and to produce and to ship a game, and also having some fun at the time whilst trying to figure out, where's my career path, what is it that I want to do, and how do I get my dream job or start up my studio in video games. Next slide. Okay, so what are the options? Well, there are numerous options that you can go for. There's lots of stuff that you can get involved with. There's loads of options of getting involved within the video games industry. But I'm going to talk about two because it's stuff that we can help you with and stuff that we can do with you. So I've pulled off this great map from Games Jobs Live. They're doing fantastic stuff and doing some great stuff over the pandemic in terms of connecting games companies with roles. If you haven't checked out their work, then really go and check out their job map. So they've just recently released this report which says there's 2,284 games companies who are currently recruiting for 1,794 roles. And so my question is, one, do you want to be one of these games companies? Do you want to have one of those pins on the maps and be your own boss, have your own studio, and look to recruit people? Or do you want to be applying for one of these roles? And our pathways can certainly help you with that as you go to figure out one of these things that you want to do. So here's a quote from one of our Transfuser teams from last year, 2020. Chris, he was a team leader. They created a great FTL game called Knights of Borea. You can check it out on the Itch.io page there. I was having a conversation with him a couple of weeks ago, and we're just talking about, well, what happened in Transfuser and how did you guys get on? Where are you now? What's going on? And he was like, well, taking part in Transfuser has changed my life and has given me a career in the video games industry. So I was super chuffed whenever he was speaking about the impact that it's had on his career and where they are just now and what they're able to achieve. They were selected for funding, so they spent the last 6 months working on this game. They've set up a business, they've been working on a master's, and they're also now looking at some further IP in terms of creating and moving their company on to the next stage. So it's really encouraging to see from being a graduate team to the place where they're at now and the impact that taking part has had on them. So what did we get involved with last year? So as a part of our offering last year, we extended what we were offering because of the pandemic. So we normally were kind of quite focused on helping and supporting students as they were looking to set up a studio, but we opened it up in terms of there's so many skills and transferable skills and so many different things that teams can learn together by taking part in TransUser, that it really helps to bolster their portfolio. It gives you the opportunity to work on that extra those extra skills and the extra the technical skills, or maybe it's business skills, or it's maybe understanding working as a team. So many different things that can happen during the course of the summer. So this is a little bit of an idea of what we helped and what we delivered with the teams. We had 27 teams take part, had 120 team members. Between them, they did around about 50,000 hours worth of development over the summer. And it was a mixture of teams who were, looking to and investigating about setting up their own enterprise, and those who were wanting to get a job in the industry. So they had exposure to our Games Biz Academy, which is some tailored content, which we got from connections within the industry, and those who are funded companies. And it's looking at areas in terms of things that is important to them in terms of the stage where they're at in their career path. And we had pitch review day, in which we had 120 pitches in a day. We had our very own Games Jobs Live Pro to Play edition, where we had our own kind of virtual careers fair. We had our Pro to Play event showcase at the end. So the teams were invited to live stream their game. We had a review by Jordan Erica Weber of all the teams. All the teams' games were reviewed by our external reviewers, and we invited a number of teams to come and be selected to pitch for funding of £20,000 as well. Everybody who participated were awarded digital accreditations, and these accreditations can go with you as you go on in your career or your next step, and you can put them up onto LinkedIn or onto your social media, and they're kind of a digital accreditation which shows what it was that you're involved in and what you did during your time on the program. So we've taken all of this stuff that we did last year, and we kind of have streamlined it a bit in terms of, okay, let's identify where people are going to fit and what's going to be the fit for them. So we've come up with 3 pathways for this year. So we've got the enterprise pathway, we've got our employment pathway, and we've got our environment pathway. So I'm going to talk a little bit about each of these pathways and give you a little bit of information about them. And what you can get out of them. So we have our enterprise pathway. So this is otherwise known as starting a studio. And this is aimed at graduate teams. So if you're graduating this year by September 2021, or if you graduated by June 2019, in between those couple of years, that's the sweet spot for the enterprise pathway. So you can get a team together and participate on this. You need to be a UK resident to take part, or studying enrolled in a UK university. If you have needed to return to your home country because of the pandemic, then you can take part. It's a full-time commitment, so this one we'll be expecting people to invest their full time into the pathway, and team sizes are between 4 and 6. So there's a whole list of stuff there that you'll get out of it. There's prize funding of up to £5,000. There's involvement in our Games Biz Academy Bootcamp. You'll have an industry experience team facilitator. There will be our midway pitch review session. You'll have access to our UK Games Fund community, and there's dedicated showcase floor space at the end of the program, so you can show off all the stuff that you've been developing. And then, of course, you will have the chance to pitch up to £20,000 to the UK Games Fund grant to further develop your commercial development of your game. So you could be in the place that Chris and his team is in just now, and be taking your IP further. Next pathway is our employment pathway. So this is all about getting hired. This is about encouraging teams to develop their portfolio, to work on their product and to work on their game further, to develop and hone in those technical skills, and to really just sharpen up your offering. So by the time you kind of come out of this, you will have a game that you and your team have worked on, and you'll have something to show off, whether it's with regards to getting a job, or whether it's further work with university. So this is open to undergraduates and graduate teams. So there's a mix of teams there. You'll your team can scope out the project, and you can work to your time scale. The program will run for 6 weeks. So in between that 6 weeks, you guys can figure out how much time you're wanting to invest into this. The team size, it's a minimum of 3. And we recommend no more than 6. However, it's ultimately up to you and your team how many the maximum team members that you want to have on this. Teams will just need to register to take part, so there'll be information about that coming up, and there will be a themed announced in 2 kind of game jam style. So it's basically a six weeks long game jam. It'll be hosted on Itch.io. Participants will have access to the virtual careers fair, and then they'll be showcasing opportunities as well. And teams will go away with their digital credentials, which you can take with you and put on your CV. And ultimately, you'll have a summer of fun making games. Our environment pathway is aimed at those who are wanting to use a game to communicate, and a game for good. We're looking for teams of graduates who are from relevant disciplines, which would include art and programming, and they're excited about using a game to improve the planet. There's some information about there. We'll be releasing more information around about further criteria to take part in the employment and environment pathway as time goes on. Okay, so you're kind of sitting there going, oh, should I apply to this or not? I kind of meet the criteria that's talked about and that I've talked about. You know, what else do I need? What are they looking for? And you're really interested in people who are interested in taking their first steps into having and setting up their own indie studio. So if you're thinking, yeah, that sounds like something that's cool, but I'm not like 100% sure that's what I want to do, then it's definitely something that we'd be welcoming you to come and take part. Figure out, is this something that's of interest to you, and if you have the key skills and skill sets to be able to do that. And we're wanting people who are ambitious and who want to go that extra mile to land their dream job. As many of the people who've been presenting today talk about, you know, it's not just about having a nice CV and some work that you've maybe done at university. It's also about the additional extras that you've done and what you've done to hone and develop your skills. We're looking for people who are wanting to create their own IP. They're interested in practical learning. It's all very hands-on. It's not just about, you know, how do I take this thing and just, you know, so about doing something with it and practically applying it into the development of your studio or into your portfolio development as well. If you're wanting to make connections in the industry, then this is an ideal opportunity for you. And probably most importantly, we're just really looking for people who have a passion to invest their time now for their future tomorrow. As you'll see with all things, you know, things generally just don't happen and fall in your lap. It does take a little bit of time. And so this investment of time just now in summer is something that will really set you instead for your career or for your studio in the next 6 months, year, up into 5 years time. So what is it thinking about? What is it that you want to do, you know, in the next couple of years, and where you want to be is really important. And taking part in something like Transfuser can really set you in a good place to be able to do that. Maybe you're thinking, oh, it's just me, I'm just an individual, I don't have a team to be part of. Well, don't worry about that, we've got that sorted. If you're looking to take part as a team, or you think, yeah, I'm going to set up a team and take part on the enterprise or employment or environment pathway, well, we have a Teams board, so it's now open. You can fill out what it is that you're looking for, and we will post it up there for you. There's 2 elements to it. There's a part of it that's open to the public, so you can see all the teams that are up just now, all the individuals who are looking for teams to be part of, and what they've posted up there. And then if it's something that you want to take further, fill out the form, and you'll get access to the password protected area where you can find out more information, and you can then contact the teams or the individuals directly. There's access for all the pathways in this, so regardless of which one you're wanting to go on, you can access that way. So where do I find out more? Please head over to our website. It's got loads of details around about the pathway. I've been just kind of very high level kind of information about all the pathways, so you can find out more information there. That's your best point of contact. We have a live stream, a number of live streams happening over as part of Games Careers Week. So there's one this afternoon and there's one on Tuesday. So head over to our Twitch account there and you can see our live streamer Bartek talking with our alumni. And today it's Antler Studios and Pocket Sized Hands. On a Tuesday, Chris from Knights of Boreal will be talking, and Katie from Billy Bus Stop will be talking about as well their game and the development so far. And we also have information sessions. So the enterprise information session for the applications, there's one on the 7th of April. So please come along to that and you'll get actual some kind of hands-on information about filling out the application form and what we're looking for in criteria. As soon as the employment pathway opens, we'll be announcing when information sessions for them will be opened as well. So that is TBC, but keep on checking out our website for further details. There's our contact details. Please feel free to get in contact with us. I'd love to hear from you and answer any questions. And if there's anything further, then I would be more than happy to answer some questions just now as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Deb. Honestly, such a great opportunity for the students. And like, if I was back at university doing a course and this came up, I would 100% go for it because it's just absolutely incredible. We've got a couple of questions and it looks like some people have actually put questions in the chat. So I'm going to box those ones off first. So should I join my university as my hub or the closest hub to where I live?
It really kind of is entirely up to yourselves. I mean, because we're doing it all virtually this year, the connection and probably unless your university is able to host you, being close to them is probably not quite so important this year. However, if you've got a relationship with them already, then yeah, definitely I would, I'd go with your local hub. If you know them already, you've got contact with them, then yeah. So it is either or, but I'd probably go with the people that you kind of know and you're kind of familiar there as well.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Someone's just asked again. So sorry if this was mentioned, but can they ask what the deadline date was again?
Okay, so is this for? I'm assuming this is for the applications. So the enterprise pathway applications close on the 19th, Monday the 19th of April. So that's the text-based part. You'll then have an additional week that you'll get a link sent to you to upload a pitch video as well. So the deadline to get that in is the 19th. I'll just double check that's I'm getting the right date. It's a Monday. All of the dates are on the website. Let me just double check my calendar.
I mean, well, for the people that are watching as well, just I've got their contact details as well. So I will make sure that I circulate all of this information to you. So anyone that wants to take part in this, I'll definitely.
Definitely. I can confirm it is the 19th, that Monday is the 19th. So yeah, that's the date for that one.
Okay, cool. And then there's a question here. There's actually two that are pretty similar. So there's one is this suitable for beginners? And then someone's asked, what level of experience is expected to join a team during the summer and employment pathway?
It's like any game jam. It's there for you to develop your skills. So there'll be particular teams who will be like, yeah, we're looking for somebody who's got experience in a certain kind of engine, whether it's Unity or Unreal or that kind of thing. They're programming, or they're maybe looking for somebody who's got a 3D art specialism, or they're maybe looking for somebody who's doing some sound or that kind of thing. There'll equally be teams who are just coming together. They've got no idea really what kind of game that they're going to make, but they just want to have a go and kind of skill up. So that all of that is fine, and that's the beauty of the kind of employment pathway. It really is there for you to have a go. You can, if you're, say for example, you're a first year or second year student, you can have a go. Multiple years we'll hopefully be running it again. So it's just this extended period of time where you can just come and skill up and have a go, and that's mainly what we're looking for. It is it's for fun and it's all about skills development. So whilst it's nice to if you get showcased and you get involved with that stuff as well, but it's mostly about helping you to work on a project so that you've got something within your portfolio and you've had the opportunity to kind of be involved in a team and all those wonderful transferable skills that you get from that. So.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, cool. And so I suppose we've got time for one more question. All I'm going to do is roll three into one because there's a few that are similar. So there's a couple here that, can you do the game jam when you're at college? Is this only for recent graduates or people who are about to graduate? And then there's another one that says, is there any way to do it before university? So they're all kind of very similar.
Okay, so it is aimed at university students, so it's something that will be for that kind of that bracket. certainly the if it's the employment pathway one, so it's undergraduates and then graduated up to kind of, if you were kind of June 2019, that's kind of the aim. The employment pathway, it is for graduates principally, just because if you are in the middle of your studies and you're selected for funding, the anticipation is that you'll go on, set up a company and then go on and can continue on developing your game. So if you're kind of a first to second year student, then you probably want to continue on with your studies. It's principally for that. So there's opportunity and for you to do it that way. So
awesome. Oh no, that makes sense. Well, look, thank you so much. There are a few more questions in the Q&A, so if you could take a minute to just answer them, like text them out, and that'd be fantastic. But I just want to say thank you again. And honestly, people listening, such a great opportunity. You should take full advantage of it. So yeah, check out the website. I'll make sure I circulate all of the details for you.